Hi guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. Now let's try to film this video again, because the last 3 times I've tried has sucked. Now, you might ask me why I'm in a hoodie, but it's kind of cold in here, so. Now, like I've said in many a video time before, I am adding December because of the Merry Bookmas now. December will be taking part in my next year's wrap-up. So my years are now going to go December to November. Yeah, December to November. Wow, my brain. And I'm going to bring with you guys my top 10 books of the year. Now this year has been a crazy one. I've read 107 books. Yes, it's going to say 108 because I just finished a book, but it's December, so. But I will come, if you guys want, in another video, all my statistics and stuff. Comment down below and let me know, and I'll do a whole video on statistics and the whole setup of my binder and how I'm going to do things in the upcoming year. But let's get to the part where you guys all are looking forward to, is my top 10 books of 2019. I don't know why I did that, so I apologize. It's been a night. I burned chicken rice earlier, so it's been a night. But I have with me, right beside us, my top 10 books of the year. I'm going to go in backwards order, but I'm going to let you know number 10 through, I do believe, number 5, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yes. 10 through 5 are in a set order. Number 1 through 4, I had a difficulty placing in order, but I'm pretty sure the first 4 on this list, y'all are not going to be surprised about. How about you comment down below real fast and see if you can guess what my top 4 books of 2019 are, and see if you got it right. Some of these shouldn't be a shock that they're on this list. A couple of them might be, I don't know, it depends on if you're new here or not, but I'm not going to be the best person to explain every last one of these. A couple of these, it's been a few months. One, it's been all the way since like February. Actually, 2 of them is like January and February. It's been since I've read them. So I'm going to do my best. Okay. In the number 10 slot is You Asked for Perfect by Laura Silverman. This book, I have been, something in the back of my mind keeps bringing me back to this book. I didn't think this book was going to make this list. And something told me that it needed to be on this list. It's an important LGBT story that is happy, that is wholesome, that shows family in a way that a lot of LGBT books don't show. And this follows senior Ariel Stone, who hires his classmate Amir as a tutor to help him through calculus, because he's wanting to be perfect. He wants everything perfect. But as you know, life is not perfect. And Ariel finds along the way that he doesn't have to be perfect. I will let you know this has has representation for LGBT, because both the main characters are gay, but it also has representation of Judaism, because they are Jewish. And, by the way, there's recipes in the back for matzo ball soup, and the way they made it sound, it just sounded delicious. And I kind of want to, like, make my own version of it. Like, I may take out a few of the ingredients. Like, I'm not a celery fan and I'm not a big onion fan. But I can switch onions to, can switch the one large onion just to, like, minced onions. and then just get rid of the celeries, and it just sounds delicious. Oh. I thought everyone needs to hear more about this book. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but to me, there's an underlining point in the story that just makes me constantly going back to it. And this is such a book that I will be rereading in the future because it just brings a warmness to me that I don't really see a lot in LGBT. So number 9, maybe one that might shock a few people on why it's on my list, but it kept coming back to me because it gave me that nostalgia and makes me want to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer again, and Angel, and it's got me back to watching a lot of my shows that I grew up with. I'm currently watching Bones because of David Boreanaz. It's fucking sexy. If you can't tell I'm an Angel fan, you on the wrong place. But I am a huge Spike fan too, so James Marsden, David Boreanaz. Want my number? Call me. But, of course, that is Slayer by Kristen White, who I met earlier this year and signed it and said, choose yourself. This book is set in the Buffy universe. This follows Nina, who happens to be one of the daughters of Buffy's first Watcher, who was killed. If you're a true Buffy fan, check out the horrible 80s movie, and the Watcher in it is who they're talking about. Because in the TV series, they do a nod towards him. This is a book that you really need to go into if you are a huge Buffy fan, because you will find every last little bitty, like, Easter egg in it. The minute that woman said 5 by 5, I flipped out. Because Faith is my bitch. I love me some Faith. And this book just kept coming back to me throughout the year. I cannot wait for the sequel, Chosen. Like, I already have that on my pre-order list. I will be pre-ordering it at the end of the month, because I usually pre-order like a week or like the paycheck right before the book comes out. Because that's me. That way I know I got the book type thing. But yeah, this follows Nina, who grew up in the Watchers, hating Buffy because her father died. Like, it took me a second to get into this book because of the amount of hatred for Buffy. But I completely understand. And she hates the Slayers. But she just happens to be the last one chosen. And then things follow suit. I don't want to tell any more than that. If you're a huge Buffy fan and you have not checked this out, I don't know who you are. So check it out. You will love it. I think it goes unsaid. I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. These are some of my all-time favorite books. And I will be rereading a lot of these. And I highly recommend every last one of these books to each and every last one of you. So, my number 8. I buddy read number 8 with the lovely Emily from Novell's Novels. Matter of fact, there are 3 books on here that I buddy read with her. I feel like we choose some perfect buddy reads. But number 8, this book was sent to me by the wonderful Melanie from Completely Mel. I'll link both Mel and Emily down below. She sent this to me because this is one of her all-time favorite books. And I have to agree. Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I did not think I was going to like this book. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, but it's kind of an origin story to the Red Queen. And that's all I'm going to say, because I feel like you should not read the synopsis, because the synopsis gives a little bit away, but it's one of those books that you should go in blind, because it's a stunning book with an even more stunning undercover, and it just means so much. And I need to get me the paperback version because I want the white and black versions, so I can go on my Alice shelf. But yes, I highly recommend this. It blew my mind. I didn't think I was going to love it, but I went in with it low expectations because I had read Cinder by her and didn't really like that, but then again, I'm not a Cinderella fan. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up on this book because I feel like you should go into it blind. A lot of these I'm gonna tell you. Well, this one, the last two, and the next one I think are gonna be the ones I'm gonna tell you to go in blind. The rest, you'll get a little bit more information. But yeah, highly recommend. Now I want to read everything Marissa Meyer's ever read. Everything Melissa Meyer has ever wrote. Which I will be reading the Lunar Chronicles very soon. And hopefully I'll be getting to meet Marissa soon for her launch of her new covers for the Lunar Chronicles, which actually makes me want to read the Lunar Chronicles more. So there's that. Number 7. Yes, going backwards. So, well, is the only thriller on this list. And that is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. 5 out of 5 stars. This is a book that I'm not going to tell you anything about. Except for it's about a girl named Jules who takes a new job as an apartment center in the Bartholomew, one of Manhattan's most glamorous and secretive buildings, and then things just start happening. This book, it's not my favorite by Riley Sager. That's still Last Time I Lied, which was in last year's top 10. I do believe. Either that or the year before. I can't remember. I do believe it was last year's, because Final Girls Camp. So yeah, it was last year. But you could have told me anything with the ending. You could have told me gigantic aliens with gigantic boobs popped out of the sky, riding gnomes' dicks that caused everything that happened in this, and I would have been like, okay. But it's so creepy. It gives you that gothic horror vibe that I feel like we're lacking in a lot of literature today. And I'm really hoping his next one is similar vibes because it's set in a creepy house too. And I feel like he needs to stick with this because I feel like he finally found his niche of the type of thriller and stuff that he needs to do more of. 6. And number 6, I also buddy read this with Emily from Novell's Novels. And I do believe I buddy read this also with Mel from Completely Melanie. And I feel like someone else buddy read it, but that was so long ago. Like, things have happened. And that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which is currently my all-time favorite John Green novel, because I've only read this and Fault in Our Stars and Will Grayson. I have started Let It Snow, but I haven't gotten to John's story yet. This book follows 16-year-old Asa and her friends as they try to hunt down a missing investigator. I know that sounds really weird, but this book is so much more. And this is the first time I saw myself represented in a book. Not 100%, but damn well close. Because Asa suffers from OCD, germophobia, and stuff like that, and she spirals. I don't. I suffer from OCD, but I don't suffer from germophobia. She, when her OCD and stuff kicks in, she spirals and has to like cut herself, and then has to look up online to see what type of disease she has. I name book titles or book characters, or I spiral with books. She spirals with germs. So it's like this is the first time I've ever seen a character represented in a way that made me feel like I was normal. If that makes sense. And it's just so good. It's so realistic. It's so just, excuse me. I just need everybody to read this. If you have not read this, go get a copy, read it. You'll thank me later. Just all the feels. And number 5 is a repeat author from last year's top 10, and that is Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read 2 Taylor Jenkins Reid's books this year that were 5 stars, but this one and One True Loves. But this one stands out. This follows Hannah Martin as she moves back home. She's been moving around and everything, and decides to go stay with her best friend back in Los Angeles. There we go. It's been a bit since I've read this, but I remember quite a bit about it. This is one that I will definitely be rereading. Hannah goes out with her friends one night, and she runs into her ex-boyfriend, Ethan. Now, this book then pauses, and she gets to make a decision. Either go home with her best friend, Gabby, or go home with Ethan. And this book follows both timelines. You have to be paying attention, or you're going to get so freaking confused because there's no headers. But personally, I like the Gabby timeline and the guy she ends up with over there over Ethan. Nothing wrong with Ethan. But I like how realistic the story is. And both stories make so much sense. And then they come together in the same place, almost with the same people. And it's just, I do believe this is my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid, outside of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which will always be my favorite. And for others, this will probably be my favorite. And this is one of my all-time favorite books. These last 5, well, along with this, 6 through 1 will forever be some of my all-time favorite books and will probably never leave these lists. And this solidified my love for Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I will be reading everything she has ever wrote because she is a god. I highly recommend, if you're not interested in Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I do highly recommend starting with Maybe in Another Life. This will pull at your heartstrings. You will feel for the characters and just, I don't know how many times I bawled my eyes out, laughed, I cried, I screamed out with joy. It's just, oh, this book. We'll be definitely probably rereading it this year when I need it. Now, like I said, 1 through 4 could be in any order. So I just stacked them in the order that I read them. So the most recent to the first. But they could be in any order. So, and these 4, you guys should totally have guessed. Well, I don't know about number 4, but at least the first 3 you should know are my all-time favorite books. Because how much I rave about them. Number 4 is Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey. I picked this up on a whim, thinking, oh, I'm gonna like it. Chelsea Darling Reads loves this book. But I didn't think this book was going to be on this list. I didn't think this book was going to be the end-all, be-all romance, straight romance that I needed. And boy, was I wrong. This follows Georgette Castle, who has always been in love with her brother's best friend, who happens to have hurt himself and can no longer play baseball, which is what he's known for. And she goes to his house, riles him up, and gets him out. And it follows their friendship, friends to lovers romance, between an ex-baseball player and a birthday clown. There are 4 phases on this book that sum up this book perfectly. Phase 1, a new framework for her business. A website from this decade. Phase 2, a gut Reno on her wardrobe. FYA, leggings are pants. Phase 3, updates to her exterior. Do people still wax? And Phase 4, put herself on the market and stop crushing on Travis Ford. Like, it is your typical adult romance with some really, really, really sexy time. This is not for the faint of heart. But this book made me laugh, this book made me cry, made me feel feelings I haven't felt in a while. And there's some things that happen in this book that you bet your ass I will be trying with my boyfriend. Because, just thinking about it, Mama needs a cold shower. Okay, number 3 is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmerer. Are y'all shocked? Are y'all shocked? Y'all shouldn't be. I bring it to you almost every video. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling where the Beauty character suffers from cerebral palsy, a form of cerebral palsy that only affects one of her legs. My sister, God rest her soul, suffered from cerebral palsy, microcephaly, and CMV. Cerebral palsy can cause other issues, and my sister was wheelchair bound. And this book, there's a part in this book where the Beauty character is explaining to the Beast character the differences in cerebral palsy. And to see it written down, my sister summed up perfectly, just warmed my heart. And then the cliffhanger at the end of this book, just like, I need the next one, like, now. Like, I need it yesterday. I need it tomorrow. This, I do believe, is going to become my favorite Beauty and the Beast retelling series ever. And I really don't want to tell more than that. This is an original retelling. It's thoughtful, it's spellbinding, it makes you feel the feels. And the fact that the Beauty character has cerebral palsy, but doesn't let that get to her, and she still stands on her own as a strong woman. Like, people living with disabilities should never be put down. And anyone who wants to put down someone with a disability, come talk to me, because me and you will have words. Just saying. And number 2 and number 1 are the ones that are the really most, like, interchangeable. And y'all should both know these titles. But number 2 is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuestion. which is an adult romance, which I did not expect to see 3 adult contemporary romances on this list. This is a enemies to friends to lovers romance between the son of the President of the United States and the Prince of England. That's all I'm going to say. And the fact that it warmed my heart, and I have read this book 4 times this year, labeled it twice, but I will be rereading this anytime I feel like I need a warm pick-me-up. Because Alex and Henry are my favorite LGBT couple, I think, in literature right now. And that says a lot for me. And it just... This is a book that we all need to read, especially in this tumultuous time period. It is a warm hug, and that's all that's going to be said on that. And number 1 should be no surprise. I have been boosting this girl's books. She is one of my closest and dearest friends. That's not why she's on the top of my list. She's on the top of my list because the twists and turns this book took, like, fucked with my head. And I cannot wait for the sequel, and that is Killing November by Adriana Mather, which has been read, like, I want to say 5 or 6 times this year. Sometimes I just turn on the audiobook when I don't want to listen to music. This follows November as she is dropped off at a school called the Academy Abscondati. And I went to the release of this and saw my sister from another mister. All you need to know going in this is about a girl named November that is dropped off at an academy that is for spies. And it literally says in the first chapter, don't trust anyone, and I bet your ass don't you dare trust a single soul. If you have not read this, why are you on my channel? Everyone needs to read an Adriana Mather book because it'll warm your heart. If you have not read this, then at least check out How to Hang a Witch. And you'll truly get to know who I am as a reader. Both these books have helped me out. The other one a little bit more than this. The other one I was suicidal. This one just put me back into perspective. So yeah, read it. Now who got the top 4 right? Who picked that these 4 would be... Oh, God. These 4 would be my top 4. Did any of y'all guess? I mean, y'all should have at least guessed these would be my top 2. I've been raving about them all year. Read the arcs of both of them. And just... Have you read any of these books? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Is there any books from your top of 2019 that you think I deserve to read? Comment down below and let me know. Let me... My top 10. Now, I will let you guys know I have several weird videos coming up that all have to play with book series. Like, so if you get a little tired of them, sorry, but I'm doing all my end of the year videos, which is going to go over my top 10 favorite book series of all time, where I'm currently at. I have a list of, I do believe it's 5 series that I have started and want to finish. And I have 7 that I own completed that I would like to read in the upcoming year. And then I have a few other videos coming along, and I hope you guys don't get tired of me. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Like I said, if you're new here, hit that thumbs up. You might as well hit that subscribe because you know you wanna. And remember, kids, reading is what? Fundamental. Until next time, bye.